Welcome to the Deep Dive. If you're focused on information security, you know the landscape hasn't just changed, it feels like it's been fundamentally well weaponized. Phishing and social engineering may be once seen as just digital annoyances. They're now really critical entry points for some very sophisticated, modern cyber threats. So today, we're taking a deep dive into the research. We're looking at the newest, honestly, the scariest tactics attackers are using, especially leveraging the accelerating power of AI. And we'll map out the defense strategies you really need to implement, well, immediately for 2025. Think of this as your shortcut to understanding the next generation of these threats.
Yeah, the urgency is undeniable. It's
Yeah.
really laid out clearly across all the materials we looked at. Exposure to these human-focused attacks is just rising exponentially. A big reason is that technology has, frankly, lowered the bar for high-quality deception. It's easier to fake it now, yet the sources we reviewed, they universally stress that organizational and individual awareness remains the first and most critical line of defense. Because if that human element fails, even the most expensive tech stack in the world often just can't save you.
Okay, let's unpack that. For years, many of us felt we could spot a phishing attempt, right? The emails were riddled with typos, looked kind of amateurish.
Yeah.
That era is just dead. Our sources show attackers have received a massive sophisticated upgrade. What's the biggest game changer listed in our materials? What really separates the 2025 threat landscape from, say, even last year?
It's really the democratization of quality through generative AI. That capability has instantly led to what the security community is calling AI-enhanced phishing attacks.
Okay, AI-enhanced phishing. What does that actually look like in practice?
Well, what's happening is attackers are using these AI tools to create communications, could be email, SMS, instant messages that are often just flawless. The grammar is perfect, the tone matches whoever they're pretending to be, and crucially, they are highly customized. We've moved way beyond those old mass email blasts. These are genuine spear phishing attacks built on data gathered about specific individuals or companies beforehand. This dramatically increases their accuracy and, maybe more importantly, their psychological deceptive quality. They look, sound, and feel legitimate.
Okay, and here's where it gets, well, frankly, a bit terrifying for me. Deepfakes. We used to think of these as sort of conceptual, maybe movie magic stuff. But how are they being weaponized right now in high-stakes social engineering, according to the research?
Yeah, the sources issue some pretty explicit warnings about the immediate capability to produce hyper-realistic deepfake audio and video content. And it's being used for real-time exploitation.
Real time, so not just pre-recorded messages.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine you get an urgent voice call or maybe even a very quick video message popping up that appears to be your actual manager or a senior executive. The attacker has mimicked their voice, maybe their appearance, almost perfectly. This fabricated identity is then used to deceive victims into performing immediate, high-pressure actions.
Like what kind of actions?
Things like executing an unusual financial transaction to maybe a new vendor they've never heard of, or perhaps logging into a sensitive system and divulging confidential data. The whole attack just leverages manufactured urgency and this instant artificial trust generated by the deepfake.
Wait, okay. If the deepfake quality is truly that convincing, doesn't that render basic human skepticism almost, useless?
Yeah.
If my CEO calls me sounding exactly like my CEO, demanding an immediate payment approval, how am I supposed to differentiate a deepfake from a real, urgent request?
That is precisely the challenge the sources highlight. The core of the deepfake threat is that it weaponizes trust instantly. It creates that high-pressure, low-time environment where you feel you have to act. We will definitely touch on the verification defense methods in a bit, but yeah, the initial impact is often shock and compliance. And furthermore, we need to acknowledge that the threat environment isn't just restricted to the email inbox anymore. That's a really crucial shift. It's now a multi-channel threat.
Right. They meet you where you are, digitally speaking. Your phone, your messaging apps.
Precisely. Email is still a factor, absolutely. But the sources confirm attacks are now incredibly prevalent via SMS, instant messaging apps, think WhatsApp, Telegram, and even through those deceptive application notifications.
You mean the ones that pop up on your phone demanding immediate action?
Exactly those. They look official, they demand you click or log in right now.
And linking this back to the AI-enhanced quality we discussed,
Mhm.
none of this scale, this pervasiveness, would really be possible without automation, would it?
Absolutely not. The research points squarely to automation-supported phishing as the backbone of modern cybercrime operations. These automation tools allow criminals to execute vast, extensive campaigns. And the quality level is something that previously would have required huge teams and enormous effort. Now they can hit tens of thousands of targets with messages that feel individually customized. It maintains that high quality and precision while drastically reducing the margin for human error on their side. It's essentially industrial scale identity theft and fraud.
Wow. Okay, so the tech is making the attacks flawless and scalable.
Right. But what's fascinating here, and maybe a bit counterintuitive, is that even with all the sophisticated AI handling the polish, the fundamental goal hasn't changed. It remains timeless, exploiting core human psychological flaws. Things like urgency, curiosity, confusion, or maybe just misplaced trust. Our materials emphasize that these classic social engineering methods, they are absolutely still in use, often because they provide that initial foothold for the fancier AI attacks.
That makes sense. So the AI provides the convincing veneer, but the attacker still needs to trick you into clicking the link or making the call, right? Let's pivot then from the technology of deception to the psychology of exploitation. If people are generally more aware of phishing than ever, why do these classic attacks still land so often?
Well, they exploit our cognitive shortcuts, our sort of mental defaults. Take mating, for instance. The classic example, maybe a bit cliche but still relevant, is leaving a suspicious USB drive in a parking lot. Maybe it's labeled confidential HR salaries or something equally tempting. Even the most security-conscious employee might have a split second of curiosity, or maybe greed, or even altruism thinking they should return it. That single moment of curiosity compelling someone to plug it in, that's the fatal flaw. It's pretty low tech, but it's high impact psychology.
And then there's the aspect of sort of building a fake relationship, establishing false credibility first.
Exactly. Many modern attacks, especially the more targeted ones, don't go for the kill immediately. They rely on quid pro quo. An attacker might call, perhaps claiming to be from IT support. They'll say there's some widespread technical problem affecting lots of people. Then they ask for just one small detail to fix it for you, maybe verifying an employee ID number or asking you to reboot a specific system while they monitor it.
Ah, so they offer a perceived service.
Right. They offer a perceived service in exchange for a tiny piece of information or action. This establishes a false sense of cooperation, a little bit of trust, which they then leverage later for the real payload, the bigger ask.
Okay, if we connect this to the bigger picture then, the sources seem to stress that spotting these pressure tactics isn't just about protecting yourself individually. It's about protecting the whole team, the whole organization. Is that right?
Precisely. And this raises a really important question for everyone listening. Why should you personally care about spotting these classic, maybe high-pressure techniques, especially if you think you're not the direct target at that moment?
Right, why look out for others?
Because the materials emphasize that social engineering attacks can be internal or external, but the key symptom to watch for is often a change in behavior in your colleagues. The ability to spot signs of unusual stress, maybe sudden unusual login times, or unexpected large file downloads by a colleague who might be under pressure from a phishing call, that's a fake voice call, or maybe a quid pro quo scam, that's crucial. Recognizing that pressure or confusion is being applied to anyone in your environment is often the very first step to stopping a successful data breach. You're not just a potential target, you are part of the first line of monitoring for your entire organization.
That's a powerful way to put it. You're part of the human sensor network. Okay, now that we know the enemy's playbook from the AI customization making things look perfect to leveraging basic human curiosity, we absolutely need to talk defense. It looks like defense strategies are also getting smarter, maybe finally moving beyond simple blacklists and keyword filters. What do our sources recommend for technological safeguards against these hyper-realistic threats?
Yes, the defense strategies outlined are absolutely dual-pronged. They require both technical intelligence and an unshakable human awareness culture. You really need both. On the technical side, the materials stress moving toward more advanced software, specifically tools that use behavioral analysis to prevent harmful links in real time.
Behavioral analysis. How does that differ from just scanning an email for bad links?
Well, this protection goes far beyond traditional signature-based scanning, which mainly looks for known threats. Instead of just asking, is this a link we already know is bad?
Yeah.
The system asks, is this destination behaving suspiciously right now after the click?
Okay. So it's not just scanning the incoming email. It's acting almost like a virtual bouncer for the website you just clicked on, blocking access immediately if that site tries to drop malware or execute some unauthorized script.
That's a great analogy, actually. It analyzes the destination's intent after the click, often blocking it before any payload is actually delivered. This really requires sophisticated, multi-layered filtering of malicious domains and message content. The sources specifically highlight advanced DNS filtering, too, to prevent users from ever even reaching known or newly registered phishing sites in the first place.
So you need updated protection that doesn't just rely on what was known yesterday. It needs to be dynamic.
Exactly. It has to anticipate and react to new threats as they emerge.
Cool, that covers the tech.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the perhaps even more critical part, the human firewall. Because even the best software can potentially be circumvented by a really convincing deepfake or a high-pressure phone call, right? What are the practical defense strategies we, as individuals and teams, need to implement immediately?
The core mantra, the thing that absolutely must become muscle memory for everyone, is verification is key. You simply must never automatically trust the source of an unexpected offer or an urgent request for sensitive information, regardless of how official they look or sound.
Never trust, always verify.
Precisely. And the sources provide one absolutely critical instruction here. If you receive an unexpected request, especially anything involving financial transfers or sensitive credentials, you must always verify the source directly. But, and this is the crucial part, you must never use the links, phone numbers, or reply email addresses provided in the suspicious message itself to do that verification.
That distinction is so vital. Okay, so if your supposed bank emails you saying there's a problem with your account, you don't click the link in the email. You close the email entirely, you open your browser, and you independently look up the bank's known official phone number or type their official website URL directly into the address bar.
Yeah.
You completely bypass the attacker's potentially poisoned communication channel.
Exactly right. You use a separate known good channel for verification. Furthermore, policy adherence is just non-negotiable. You have to follow established security procedures and policies, even when, maybe especially when you feel extremely pressured or rushed. Always remember that manufactured sense of urgency. That is the #1 tactic.
Used by both the AI-enhanced attackers and the classic social engineers.
Absolutely. If you feel pressured, that itself is a red flag. Pressure equals potential fraud. Slow down. And finally, we must maintain robust technology hygiene. It sounds basic, but it's fundamental. Meaning consistently updating protection software patches exist for a reason. Using multi-factor authentication, MFA, for every single account possible. Seriously, MFA should be the absolute baseline defense everywhere now, and of course, avoiding password reuse across different sites.
Okay, verification, policy, hygiene. What's the last piece?
The final line of defense is that continuous loop of training and reporting.
Continuous training makes sense. Things change fast.
They really do. Continuous training is crucial for everyone to recognize the modern red flags. That intense urgency, the slightly off, suspicious links, security threats that seem perfectly designed to panic you into clicking, and maybe most importantly, the sources strongly recommend the immediate reporting of any suspicious social engineering attempt within your organization.
Don't just delete it and forget it.
No. If you see something, say something immediately. Because that attack targeting you or your colleague might just be phase 1 of a much larger breach attempt on the whole organization. Reporting helps connect the dots.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this all really mean for us day to day? It sounds like the sophisticated tools available now, heading into 2025, are designed to exploit our oldest, most basic vulnerabilities, our trust, our fear, our human need to act quickly and, comply with authority.
That's the core message. Ultimately, the consistent theme across all our sources is clear. Technical safeguards are absolutely essential. You need them. But boosting security awareness and fostering a strong security culture, that is the first and most vital line of defense. Whether you're protecting your own personal data or a vast company network, at the end of the day, you are the ultimate firewall.
That's a good point to remember. We definitely want to know what specific defense tactics you are seeing work best against this new wave of AI-driven attacks, especially maybe in your particular field or industry. Please share your thoughts, your experiences, maybe any suggestions you have in the comments below. Let's learn from each other and adapt together.
And maybe here's a final provocative thought for you to mull over as you apply these defense strategies we discussed. Considering the rapid rise of sophisticated deepfake technology, the kind that can mimic a manager's voice and face in real time, how do we actually move beyond just checking the URL or the email header? How do we start verifying the actual identity of the person contacting us, especially when that identity might be completely fabricated on the fly by AI? That's the really complex security question I think we all face going forward. There's no easy answer there yet.
A challenging thought indeed. Okay, if you found this deep dive valuable, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and definitely activate that bell so you receive every new analysis we put out. And please share this video with colleagues, friends, anyone who might benefit from staying informed about these evolving threats. We'll see you in the next deep dive.